Hey folks, it's Chef Kevin, and tonight I'm making something more on the fancy side. If you've seen some of my videos, a lot of them are comfort foods, and that's fine. But this one's going to be more fancy than comfort food for sure. Tonight I'm making Salmon Wellington. Now Wellington is a protein, in this case the salmon, and it's cooked in phyllo dough. Now you can also do that with a filet mignon, making that a beef Wellington, and you can use other types of fish, and you can even use chicken Wellington. Maybe I'll make that later. At any rate, I have this piece in front of me. This is a 6-ounce piece of salmon. It's wild caught. It's not farm raised. I don't eat farm raised food, farm raised fish at any rate. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is make what's called the duxelle. Now this is common to all Wellingtons. A duxelle is made from mushrooms. It's cooked until they become very pasty, so it's a fairly long cooking time. And then you can use fresh herbs as well. I'm going to be using some shallots. And I'll see what else I can find. So let's get right into it. Okay folks, let's get right into this Wellington. Now the first thing I'm going to do is make the duxelle. Now you should try to remember that word duxelle, because if you're at a dinner party, you're hanging with friends, you can tell folks, I made a beautiful duxelle. They'll be impressed. Okay, so I'm actually using a chopper device as opposed to a knife, and this works out really good for doing something like chopped mushrooms. And I want to chop these fairly small. You don't want big chunks in your duxelle. Now I'm using white button mushrooms, but you can use whatever mushroom you like. These are so big I can only cut 2 or 3 at a time. That's a duxelle, or it will be shortly. Okay, over to the frying pan. I'm going to put a little grapeseed oil on that, and that has a high flash point. You don't want to use a virgin olive oil. That has too much taste in it for this application. And I'm also using Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. This is a compound butter. Anytime you put a fresh herb into a butter, it's a compound butter. So I won't be using any other garlic than what's in that little pat right there. And again, this is just for one serving. Now the butter tastes better, that's why I'm using butter. And the oil prevents the butter from burning. So I'm adding my chopped mushrooms here. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And this is really time consuming. It's about 10 to 12 minutes, and what you want to do is just cook them over a medium heat and get that water out of there. Now mushrooms, like most vegetables, are 95% water. Now you don't want a duxelle that has a lot of liquid in it, because then you're going to end up with a soggy Wellington. So you want to take as much as you can out without burning it. Okay, I'm going to add half a shallot to my duxelle. Now a shallot is in the onion family. It's very similar, but it's not quite as tart, not quite as sharp, I would say. And again, this has to be small pieces. So I'm going to show you how I cut my shallot. Cut it in half after I take the skin off. Making one horizontal cut, and then I'm going to make another horizontal cut. And I just want to make sure that I have my fingers above the height of the blade, just in case that knife slips, I won't cut myself. So I'm making several vertical cuts right now. And you can see how nice and small the pieces are. And what's left over just gets chopped up. Now I did add this to the duxelle, but I don't show it because I sort of lost that frame, but that's okay. It's in there. Okay, a little wine. Why not? That adds flavor. I'm gonna just put in about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces. Again, this is just one serving. And I bet you can guess where the rest of that little bottle went to. Okay, the duxelle is finished. It's cooled off. Now I'm going to add some capers. And I'm adding them now because I didn't want the capers to cook down because they would break down. So I'm adding them now. And these are the ones in brine, not the salted ones. If you use the salted ones, then you have to rinse the salt off them because it'll just be too salty. Okay, here's my salmon prep. Made a little bit of a goof. The board was too far away, and then the piece of fish was too far away. You have to have the knife close to the countertop so it's low. So see what happened. I left a little too much meat on that, but it's too late now. Okay, I'm going to season that up. Salt and pepper. Okay, that's my phyllo dough from Walmart. Make sure it's at room temperature before you start working with it, or else if it's semi-frozen, you can crack it when you unfold it. So I'm using Swiss cheese. I got 2 pieces of Swiss cheese. Now I'm putting the duxelle on. Now the duxelle is pretty much the same size as the salmon. That's how you want to do it. Just enough duxelle. That was about 6 ounces of chopped mushrooms, by the way. Okay, now I'm going to salt and pepper it. Whoops, a little too much, so I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to place that on the duxelle now. And then salt and pepper the bottom of the salmon. Seasoning is very important. A little salt there. A little too much pepper again. Must be having a bad day, but I'll just spread it around. Okay, I'm going to fold it up now. Now, as you can see, this is upside down. That's because I didn't want the seams to be on the top. Okay, I have a little too much dough here, so I'm just going to cut it away. Trying to fold it over, make it a little neat on the bottom. And that's the part you don't see. Okay, now it's right side up. Looks like a chicken from the back, doesn't it? Very rustic. Cut off a little bit more dough. Okay, I'm going to take a fork and just press down on the seams. This way it holds together. Now what I'm trying to do here is be an artist and draw some lines on the outside by dragging the fork across the Wellington. You don't have to do this. It's not going to make it taste any better. It may make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, I have some egg wash here. Now, I couldn't find my little brush, my little pastry brush, so I'm just going to use my hands. And this way I don't have to wash that silly little brush. Okay, I have a couple of pieces of leftover phyllo dough. So what I'm going to do is take this little cookie cutter and cut out some stars. Here's one star. And I'll give it another star. So this will be a 2-star Wellington. Alright, let's go for 3 stars. I have one little piece left. I'm trying to flatten it out. I don't want to break out my rolling pin just for one silly star. And here you have it, folks, a 3-star Wellington. And I'm going to egg wash that as well. Now what I'm going to do is put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes or so, minimum 20 minutes anyway. And that of course makes the phyllo dough cold. And when I put it in the oven, it'll become nice and brown. So I'm putting it on parchment paper. This way it can't stick to the tray. Still looks like a chicken from behind, but there you go. Tuck those wings in. Okay, the oven is heating up to 425 for 25 minutes. Okay, while the oven is warming up and the phyllo dough is cooling down, I'm going to make a nice little tomato onion salad to go with the Wellington. And these are really small cherry tomatoes. They're nice and sweet. I'm just cutting each one in half. That's about the only way to do it. Now I love the colors. Color makes food interesting. You always eat with your eyes first. And chances are, if something doesn't look good, you're going to think it doesn't taste good. And you can quote me on that. These are nice and sweet. I'm also going to add some thin sliced red onion and a couple of leaves of basil cut nice and thin. Salt, pepper, a high-grade olive oil, a little vinegar, and I'm going to put in a little smoked paprika. Now, paprika is not a hot pepper, but it does have some spice to it. Okay, that's it for the tomatoes. And a piece of leftover onion here. I cut that small as well. Now I choose this salad because I didn't want to make like a anything cream based, because the Wellington will be rich enough and it has the cheese in it, so I didn't want to make anything too rich, too creamy, so I think this will go quite nice. Okay, it turns out I don't need quite all that onion, so I used about half of that. It's not supposed to be an onion salad. That's good. Okay, this is my basil. I'm just going to roll it up tightly and then cut it into thin ribbons. That's a chiffonade. That's a French word for little ribbons. That's it. I'm going to add a little olive oil. Now this is the extra virgin. This is the appropriate oil for a salad. Not too much. That was probably not even a tablespoonful. It's a small serving. Little pink Himalayan sea salt. Of course, it doesn't have to be pink or Himalayan. Little black pepper. Little dash of the smoked paprika. And some good quality vinegar there. Almost lost my thought of train there. Here we go, that's a smoked paprika. Doesn't have to be smoked, and you don't even need paprika if you don't like it, but I like it, so I'm using it. Putting in a few drops of lemon juice. I wish I had a fresh lemon, but I don't. I didn't think ahead. A few drops. This will just bring it up a bit and make it nice and lively. Mix that up a bit, and the flavors will come together shortly. A nice little side. Yeah, taste test. Thumbs up from Chef Kevin. Okay, this is the phyllo dough. Sorry, this is the Wellington at this point. From the oven, 425, 30 minutes. Let's cut this bad boy right in half and check it out. It's still steaming hot, so I'm using a dish rag to hold it down. And that's it. This came out to be cooked medium, which is the way I like my fish. All that cheese, you can't really see it, but it melted down. You can see it's cooked through. And let's present it now. I have my tomato salad, and I'm serving that with some white rice. And I took the rice and put it in a small bowl, pressed down a little bit. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video, and try making it yourself. It's not really that difficult. Just take it easy. What do you want? You want your treat? Huh? You want treats? Huh? You want your treat? You like a Wellington? Yeah, guess not. Anyways, if you like my cooking show, then throw me a friggin' bone here.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.